It's not just business skills. We are learning life skills. Okay. We are learning life skills. That's what we are doing here. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. Let me share my screen and unveil to us what I have for us this morning. If your downline is not here, if your downline is not here, okay, what can you see on the screen? What can you see there? Let me know what you can see there. What do you see there? What do you see there? What do you see there? What are you chasing? Is that what you see on the screen? What are you chasing, right? Good. You know, looking at our business, having done this over a period of time, there are certain things that come to mind as we begin to build, to expand, to grow, create results, unleash our potentials, achieve great success. Along the line, we begin to learn a lot of things. We begin to overcome a lot of things. We begin to be hit by a lot of things. And this morning, I come to each and every one of you here and ask you, what are you chasing? What are you chasing? I know some of you know my flair for bikes and riding, yes. And I was watching a tournament, the tournament for bikers. There are a couple of them. There is Eye of Man TT, which is an unregulated ride without a structure. There's no structure in it. The Isle of Man TT. If you go to YouTube and you watch the Eye of Man TT, it's the most ferocious bike tournament in the world. Very dangerous, no speed limits. No, it's in fact they cleared, if they are running it in Italy, they cleared the streets of Italy. No car will be moving. And you see people doing speeds unimaginable. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the regulated, the ones that are done in like stadiums called the MotoGP. Now there was this MotoGP championship that was going on, the heat was on, and then the legends in the sports, living legends in the sports, people like Valentino Rossi, they've resigned at an age of 42 or 43 or so. They resigned, and then newer guys are coming up into the championship. And then there is this young guy that was rising to the ranks, like rising, very young guy. But he has, there were certain things that were still working against him. There were certain things that were still working against. So there's this world champion that he was supposed to race with, not just him, but you know, they have a pack of like maybe 20 riders. And then among them, there are the leaders, there are the henchmen, there are the champions. This guy is already a world champion, Quattararo. He was already a world champion. So the other one, the next one that is upcoming, in his mind, no, this guy is a threat. This guy is making me tensed. And a lot of things started working against him already. Number one, he can't ride very well in the rain. He can't ride very well in the rain. So, and there were signs that it will rain the following day that we're supposed to ride, the quarter 2 or so, the qualify. And the guy was so tensed. He was so tensed. Now, because of how tensed he was, get what this guy did. He called the boss of his girlfriend. He called the boss, the office of the girlfriend, and asked the boss to please release the girlfriend to come and stay with him, to come and stay with him in the arena. That he's so tense, he can't deal. The tension was so high for him. He was so tense. So the boss understood and then released the lady. The lady flew all the way up to Malaysia for the qualifier. So while they were like a day to the champion, they were looking at the weather report. The following day, they were looking at the weather report when he came in, and the weather report said it won't rain that morning. He said, thank God it's not going to rain. The girlfriend was there. I'm going to show you what happened. Pay attention to this. because our message this morning stems from that video. Listen to, watch this. Pay attention.
Italian sits ahead of current world champion Fabio Quartararo as we head into qualifying day here in Southeast Asia.
Non voglio arrivare così, capito? Morbidelli.
Morbidelli cruising again. Morbidelli touring again.
Mark and Bagnaia are furious with it.
There's late drama coming in potentially in this crucial episode. Oh, Bagnaia's gone down.
L'ho visto, è veramente...
Pecco Bagnaia has crashed while chasing Fabio Quartararo, the man who is trying to wrestle the world title away. But Pecco Bagnaia, the best possible news is he's quickly on his feet, he's walking away. But Bagnaia has crashed. That was going into turn number 8. Is out of Q2 then, on a direct place in Q2. A dramatic conclusion to FP3, a thrilling conclusion to FP3.
Did we notice what happened here? Did anybody notice? Let me see your comments in the chat room. Let me see if we noticed what happened here. This guy is Pecco Bagnaia. See, do we notice what happened to him? Did anybody notice what exactly happened to this guy? Did anybody find out what happened to him while he was riding? He fell down. He fell. He crashed. Now, why did he crash? Why did he crash? If you notice, when you're riding, you have your coaches, you have your mechanics, you have your people at the back end watching what is happening. Now, the moment he crashed, one of the crew members said, "We saw this coming." Did anybody notice that? The moment he crashed, one of them said, "We saw this coming." Why did they say we saw this coming? Before he crashed, he was already tensed. He was already tensed because he was racing to beat Quartararo, who is already the world champion. He was racing to beat him. So what happened? The moment they put him in a corner, there were 4 other riders surrounding him. You noticed him, he was waving his hand. Like, why are you guys putting me to a corner? Something like that. They boxed him to a corner. So immediately they came out of that bend, he fired up to, what happened? He crashed. And he lost out of Q2. He lost out of Q2. Now, what happened to this guy? Rather than focusing on the championship, he was focusing on his tension and who to beat. He was focusing on things around him, the other riders who were also gunning for the same championship. He was focusing on it. So many of us, some of us have come across or know this parable, the parable of the sower. In that parable of the sower, the Bible says, Jim Rohn also rephrased that parable. He said that the sower was an ambitious sower, just like this rider. That the sower was an ambitious rider. He wants to succeed. Once he has done the training, he has refused to settle for less. He's ambitious. He's talented. He knows his drill. But what happened along the line? He started sowing, and he was not sowing seeds that are anyhow seeds. He was sowing viable seeds. The seeds he has was viable, just like this rider. His bike is the top notch in the tournament. He didn't start at the last. No, He was already close to the beginning based on his track record. Everything was, his team was there for him. They backed him up. They gave him the backing. So what happened to that ambitious sower who had excellent seed? What happened to him? He went out to sow. This guy was not just a skilled rider. He was not someone who was ambitious for the top. But what? He was ready to make it happen. Despite his fear, he went into the track to race. Just like that ambitious sower went into the field and started to sow. I want to succeed. I want to do something for myself. And this ambitious sower started casting his seeds. And guess what happened? The first sets of seeds he cast, he was throwing to germinate and grow and build fruit, bring fruits. What happened? Some of them fell on the road. Listen to this. Some of those seeds he was casting, what happened to them? They fell by the roadside. Now, because they fell on the roadside, what happened? The birds came to take them. The birds that were flying in the air looking for food came to take those seeds. Oh, the thing is this. Who sent the birds to come for the seeds? That's the number one question. Number two question. Why did these seeds choose to fall on the roadside instead of falling in the field? Why? Just like this rider. What made these people to come and box me to a corner? Did what's other than a Quattararo? Why did all these four them come to box me in a corner? Why? Of all places to box me on a bend, close to the final lap. Why? Why? Just like that seed, those seeds and the birds. Jim Rohn said something. As those seeds fell on the roadside, and you have two options. When those seeds fell on the roadside, you say what? You have two options. It's either you continue sowing, you continue casting your seeds, you continue throwing the seeds, or you chase after the bird. Number one, not to take your seeds. Number two, to return the seeds they have taken. Either of this. But he said something. If you make the mistake of chasing the birds, whether for them not to take the seeds, or whether for them to return the seeds they have taken, they have eaten, you will miss the field. Hey, did you get that? He said, when you choose to chase after the birds, instead of you to continue sowing, casting your seed, you go about and then you start chasing the birds. What happens? You will miss the field. You will not sow anymore. You have lost every possible chance of ever having it. That's what happens. So the question is this. Have you been chasing the birds? Or have you been chasing the field? Have you been chasing the birds so that they will not take your seeds, or so that they will return the seeds that they have taken? Imagine the seeds, catching a bird and say, open your mouth, you must bring those seeds here. Bring those seeds. By the time you're asking the bird, maybe if you are lucky to catch them, and then you're not asking them to return the seeds, you have dropped the bucket of seed you have in your hand. And what happens? An elephant will come and take the ones that are there. And you are struggling to bring out from the mouth of the bird the one that is there, if you succeed at even catching it. So the question again is this. Are you chasing the birds, or are you chasing your dreams? Are you chasing the birds, or are you chasing your dream car? Are you chasing the birds, or are you chasing your dream house? Are you chasing the bird, or you are chasing the king's man? Are you chasing the bird, or you are chasing the team of people that will become millionaires in the business? What are you chasing? What are those things that you have allowed to become the things that chicken you out of what you're chasing? What are those things? Could it be the seed? Could it be that you saw the bird was about to land and you be like, this one, you want to take my seed? You continue the bed and you forget to start sowing. Just like that guy, rather than focusing on the race, what did he do? He started quarreling about those people who were in the corner, as if those people were not supposed to be part of the competition. So the question for each and every one of us this morning is this: what are those things? What are those things, or which birds have you been chasing because they have taken your seats? The question for us this morning is this: which of these birds have you allowed to take your seats? Which of these birds have you gone after that you are now pursuing them? You are now focusing all energy on them. These birds have taken your seats. They have taken them. You cast the seeds, and this excellency that we're meant to germinate have now fallen on the roadside, and the birds have taken them. Which bird? What are these birds? What are they? What are the things? Say, what are these seeds that you have cast that the birds have taken, that you are now so worried about that is stopping you from planting and sowing more in the field? The seeds of prospecting. You've prospected. The seeds of invitations, the seeds of presenting, the seeds of following up, the seeds of getting people properly started. These are the seeds you have cast. You've done them. But why is it that the birds have taken them? What are these birds that have taken these things away from you? What are these birds? Let's look at some of the birds that have taken your seeds, and how you have started chasing those birds and they have stopped you from achieving the result. What is bird number one? Stay with me. This bird number one that have taken your seed is what? Fear. Fear. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Some of us have lost track of the field, instead of letting the seeds that have thrown and didn't give us the result, and we have started, instead of leaving them alone and focusing on the field, we have allowed the bird called fear to take away our dream car, to take away our dream vacation, to take away our dream homes. Fear of rejection, fear of being called that person who is not serious. That person who is not serious because you are doing network marketing. Fear that, are you sure this business has even what it takes to give me the kind of life I want? Are you sure people before us have not taken all the income in the business? Are you sure that there is still success left in this business? Fear that, are you sure I can never make it to the top? Fear of success is even a big problem for a lot of people. I have achieved success. Are you sure I can achieve more success? Are you sure I have what it takes to sustain this success? Are you sure next month I will even be able to have something more from this business? This month I made 20K. This month I made 100K. This month I made 1 million. Are you sure I have what it takes to make 1 million next month? Hey, let's begin on this 500 and be constant there. Fear in so many ways. Rather than using that fear, these birds have taken my seeds. I can't chase this bird. I cannot give into this fear. Rather, what do I give into? I sow more seeds. I go on that thing. Now, let me tell you this. The cave that you fear holds the treasure that you desire. The cave that you fear holds the treasure that you desire. You see that cave that you are afraid of? You see those things that scares you about the business? You see those things that makes your heart jump up about the business? That bird called fear. That is where the success you seek is. We do activities in the business not because we are not afraid, but we refuse to act on our fear and act on our belief in the business that it will work. That is what is called courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's not that we don't have anything to fear anymore. No, it's because we have grown beyond our fear and said we are going to do it anyway. So the question is this: how far have you allowed this bird to continue taking your seats? How long will you continue allowing this bird called fear to keep taking your seats and you keep chasing it? The problem is not that it took your seat. The challenge is that you have started chasing the bird called fear and you have stopped sowing. You have given into fear so much that it has made you to stop sowing in the field. The question again is this: how long will you continue chasing this fear? Live beyond it. Live beyond the fear and be courageous and do the activities even in the midst of the fear. That's the number one bird. A second bird that I have found out that has stopped a lot of us from continuing for our continuous sowing in the field is what? The past election. In fact, our ongoing election. A very big bird. Some people have already closed their mind that Nigeria is finished. Some people have already closed their mind that if my candidate does not win, I am gone for. Some people have already, that's 2023 already, they have resigned to fate that 2023 is the worst year ever. That in fact, they've already predicted in their mind what December 2023 will become. The question I have for you this morning is this: and that anyone becomes a president, how does it affect you? Some of us will say, yeah, it affects the cost of food. Wait now, calm down. Be calming down. Let me explain something to you. Before the current dispensation, we felt that the administration before now that Nigeria was finished. We were hopeful that when this current administration comes in, everything will become simple. In fact, you go on the street and you plug money. All the corrupt leaders will be caught and their head will be chopped off. In fact, you know what we thought? When this current administration went into power, how many of those things were solved in our homes, in our own homes? Don't go to Nigeria. The Nigeria you know is in your house, in your own house. How many things became cheaper with this current administration? I'm asking us. How many things became easier with this current administration? In your own house, I'm asking you. I'm asking us. The result that C21FG has recorded as a team, as a group running network marketing, put in this current dispensation, are you aware? Somebody doesn't know. When did we start the project, La Buena Vida, before we started doing the 21st? When did we start it? Isn't it not in this current dispensation that the highest number of monthly millionaires has ever been created by a set of people running business in network marketing in Africa? Is it not in this current dispensation? Now we feel that everything has gone from bad to worse. I am asking us, is it not? So the question is this: why do you cling your hope on something that does not have a direct impact on you? No, why? I'm asking you. Because what we are coming from that we felt was the worst prior to it, or what that would be the best, that ended up being tougher than what we had before. Within that scenario, we created the best results ever. And I tell you, 2023 and beyond, no matter who sits on that place, my brother, my sister, can be the best years ever if you choose to. If you decide to stop, not to chase this bird, but ask yourself, how am I going to, in this current dispensation, with whoever is sitting there, how am I going to create an economy better than what I had in the past years? You will find a way. You will figure out a way. The ways are there already. But if you keep focusing, hey, my candidate did not win. No, I am finished. I am done for. I can't do any activity. No, who will sign up again? Some people are already relocating out of Nigeria. In fact, there is nothing that's happening again. It's even going to prospect again. You will tell me my candidate did not win. No, you are chasing the birds instead of sowing in the field. That's the fact. You are just chasing the birds instead of keep sowing in the field. I want you to type in the chat room, I continue sowing. Type in the chat room, I continue sowing. I continue sowing. I continue sowing. Type that in the chat room. I continue sowing. No, how can I stop? I continue sowing. I continue sowing. I continue. I cannot allow this. I can't go and be chasing the birds. No, I can't focus on, and we hope for the best for the leader. It will make overall everything good. But I want to tell you this. Even if an angel sits on there as the president of Nigeria, you must still work. The administration, Nigeria works if you are ready to work. Whoever sits on that throne, if you don't work, you will not get anything. That's the fact. If you don't do the activities, if you don't go out and work, there will never be a tree planted that money will be falling down from far. There will never be ATM, Liberal Federal Republic of Nigeria, because you are a Nigerian. Every morning, go and withdraw 50,000. There will never be any such thing in any part of the world. So for any administration to work for you, for any regime of government to work for you, you have to be doing something that works. So the question is this: will you continue allowing this bird, or will you continue chasing after this bird, or will you continue sowing in the field? I want to know what you will do. Will you continue chasing this bird, or will you keep sowing in the field? What will you do? Will you pick your pieces and say, no, I don't care what has happened in the election. I've gone out and voted the candidate of my choice, but whatever happens, I am going to find a way to make my business thrive, no matter what happens. I am going to keep sowing rather than chasing the bird. Another bird that has taken our seats that if we continue chasing will stop us from sowing in the field and achieving the result is what? Overthinking. Overthinking. So many of us think so much that we don't take any action. We think so much. And let me tell you this. Newton's first law of motion said, an object will prefer to either be in a state of rest, continuous rest, allow me to be sleeping, to be in a place of continuous rest, or constant motion. If I am moving, don't stop me, unless an external force acts on it. Now, let me tell you what happens when you start telling yourself, hi, this economy is not working again. I am stuck in this position. This thing is not working anymore. I can't do this. When you are doing this, what do you happen? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? The fears that you had will keep coming back. Why are those fears coming back? So that you continue overthinking. That part of your brain, the amygdala, is working against you at this point to keep you safe, so that you don't go into that point where those things that happened to you in the past that you didn't like will repeat. So what does it do? It keeps reminding you of things that will make you to continue thinking, a state of constant sleep, till an external force acts on it. This morning, I want to be that external force that acts on it and puts you in motion so that you can do something little today. Do something more than today, tomorrow. Do something more and more tomorrow, next tomorrow, and you continually get back your vibe. Stop overthinking. Take a step. Type in the chat room, I am taking a step. Type in the chat room, I am taking a step. I can't keep sticking and overthinking, thinking of all the possible reasons why my business will not work, all the possible reasons why I should not rise to the top, all the possible reasons why I should not become a kingsman and raise other kingsmen, all the possible reasons why I will not see the 90-day challenge to the end. No, what I'm looking at is I am going to take a step today towards the 90 days challenge. I am going to take a step today towards becoming a kingsman. I am going to take a step today towards achieving my goals. This bread, don't chase it. Rather, keep sowing. Let me tell you, 1 hour of activity, 1 hour of action is far more useful than 24 hours of thinking. 1 hour of action is better than 24 hours of thinking. And don't even bother when you are ready to when you start taking action, whether you are doing the right thing. No. Kick off, just start. After you have taken the first action, review it. Oh, this is not supposed to be this. Make amendments, do it again, review it. Before you know it, you are tending, you're pushing yourself towards perfection. But don't wait to be perfect before you take action. Is somebody getting anything this morning? I want to be sure I'm not the only person getting the message. Is somebody getting the message this morning? Is somebody getting the message this morning? Isn't somebody getting it? You're getting it, right? Good. Now, what is another bird that we have started chasing already? Some of us don't even know that we have started chasing this bird, and it's stopping us from being in the field. What is another one? Stay with me. Another bird that we chase is what? Alternatives. The reason why some of us have slowed down, even after all the mentorship trainings, empowerment we got, the emerge, all the trainings we've received, the vibes and vigor with which we started 2023, the vibe and vigor with which we started the 90 days game plan, the emerge project. Why some of us have slowed down on it is what? Because we have so many options. We have so many alternatives. We have so many other things we fall back on. If the business does not work, thank God I have that job that pays me 150K. Thank God for the job. At least I have a place to fall back. Thank God I have a husband who will bring food home. Thank God I have a wife who knows I am building my business. She will provide. Thank God. Hi. If you don't burn the bridge in your mind, the bridge in real life will remain. If you don't burn the bridge in your mind, the bridge in real life will remain. If you don't tell yourself, is it that I succeed on this or I succeed, no other option. Is it that I succeed now or I succeed now, no other option. My brother, my sister, the chances are very slim. Someone asked me, how did it work out for you that you could step up to this and leave the bank? I said, because when I started the business, it became clear to me. In fact, before I started the business, it was clear to me that I didn't have options. There was no alternative. The job was not an alternative. Why was the job not alternative? Even how I started the business, succeeding in the business was not an option, and God made it possible. Why was it not an option? I signed up with one account. I don't know if some of us if I've shared this with some of us. I signed up with one account. And after which I saw the benefit of the multiple account. How do I raise money for multiple accounts? How do I raise money for it? Where do you see the money? The one account was like one part of my heart was take or script, and one account came out. And then you're talking about that. But I saw what it could do. So I went to a microfinance bank to borrow money. Some of us do not understand what it means for a banker to borrow money outside the bank, let alone borrowing money from a microfinance bank. You are working in a commercial bank and you stoop low to go and borrow from a microfinance bank. Number two, as a banker, you can't even borrow outside the bank because the bank wants to maintain its thing that these our staff, they are comfortable. We are taking care of them so that our customers will feel confident to do business with us. It can never be said that your check is that the check I gave the microfinance bank bounced. It's a disciplinary issue. So when all these conditions were up against me, failure was not an option. No, even when that's why when somebody told me that the business is whack, in my mind, okay, no problem. I didn't have the skills. It hurt me so bad that someone I felt could see the business called it whack right to me, but I didn't live on it. I kept pushing. I didn't allow that beg of that guy at that point to stop me from doing my activities. So many of us have a lot of alternatives, so many options that we fall back on. Let me tell you, you need to eliminate those options in your mind. And some of them, you need to eliminate them physically. Yes, you need to eliminate them. You need to eliminate them. If you keep living on those alternatives, my brother, my sister, thank God, I fall back. That is because some of us have these options. That's why if this month, things we are supposed to do this month, we push it next month. It's because you have a salary that will pay you 200,000 at the end of the month. The sign up that you should have gotten this month, you say the person said he will pay next month. Next month, I'll follow up on him. No. If you are going to pay your house rent from the encashment of the money that you have not made, no, you understand that that person that is supposed to pay next week will pay now. The people who are here full-timer, who have no other options, understand what I'm talking about. You have a bill to pay, and the bill must be paid this week by Friday. By Friday. And the person said he will sign up on Saturday. My brother, you must sign up on Thursday. No, you must sign up on Thursday because there are no options. You see the people, you see people becoming so obsessed because they have eliminated the options. So the question again for us is this: will you go back to the field and keep sowing, or will you continue chasing the bed of alternative? Some people are already telling themselves, I was a full-timer in this, but I think I need to go and get my CV and go back to the field. Maybe this is not for me. Alternatives. What if you tell yourself, I have decreed myself unemployable. I have put it on myself, I will never apply for a job anywhere again. I want to employ myself. I am employing myself today because I am eliminating every other alternative. There's another bed that stops us from being in the field and getting the results, which is what? Accepting temporal defeat to mean permanent failure. Accepting temporal defeat to imply permanent failure. No. You are going to Wuse Market, and you're on your way from area 1 to Wuse Market, and you get to area 3 roundabout, or area 1 roundabout, and the taxi you are in spoils. My brother, my sister, have you reached Wuse Market? Will you come down from that bus and enter another one and keep going to Wuse Market? So many of us, the moment we hit a milestone, the moment we hit a mountain, the moment we enter a valley in this business, we use that to judge ourselves and say, this thing cannot work for us. Who gave you the right to judge yourself? I'm asking you. Who gave you the right to give yourself that unfair treatment? Who gave you the right, the justifiable right to tell yourself that temporal defeat means that you have failed? Who gave you that right? In the onboarding session on Saturday, I said something. I said, the only time you measure your failure, the only time you measure when you succeed or failure is when you become a cell leader. When you become a cell leader, you can now ask your leader, did I fail or succeed? At that point, that's the only time you are qualified to ask for success or failure. You are not yet a cell leader and you're judging yourself. Why are you being so unfair on yourself? You can keep chasing this bird and keep focusing on few things that are on the way while you're moving. It's just like when you are driving and you meet bumps. When you meet bumps, will you say, oh, this is a bump, you match brake, you switch off the car, you go back home? Or what do? You slow down, climb the bump, and you continue going. Is that not what we do when we drive? That's what we do. So why do you, when you meet rejection in the business, when somebody tells you, I am coming to pay, and the person is still coming and it's 6 months, when they tell you, I'm coming to listen to your presentation, and they're still on their way, 1 year has passed. When you meet that, instead of you walking through the bump and continue moving, you stop at the bump. The question is this: is the bump a definition of failure in your own success? Why do you see that bump as the final destination instead of seeing it as what you have to pass to get to your destination? Another bread that we need to stop chasing and keeping in the field is what? Expecting too much from doing too little. Expecting too much from doing too little. I did an analysis with some people in Abuja, and I asked them, share with me your activities in the last 6 days. How many prospects have you found? How many invitations did you make? How many people did you show the business? While they were writing, I did 16 today, I did 20 today, I did this, I did that, I did that. There was a number that was so hard for all of them that I did this review with to write. A particular number was so hard for them to write as what they did. Who knows what the number is? A particular number was so hard for them to write. A number was so hard for them to write. I was asking them, show me what you have done, show me what you have done, show me how that I've done. The number that was too hard for them to write was number 0. The number that was too hard for them to write was number 0. Why was 0 too hard for them to write? Why was it a big deal for them to write 0? They have written 0 that, oh, what it truly means is that on this day, I did not make one single invitation. As they were about to draw that circle that makes a 0, it became clear that the anticipation they were having of themselves was not justifiable. It was not justifiable. They were expecting they should have had so number of sign-ups by the end of the week. They are saying they're the ones writing the 0 by themselves. It became clear that, hey, let me do this thing, oh. Sure, let me no do them. How do you want a stress? How do you want to drive a car from the money you didn't use to buy it? No, how? How do you want to enjoy what you did not sow? No, how now? Why not focus on expecting too much, expecting too little from the so much you do? Why not become impatient with your activities and patient with your results? Why not? Tell yourself, no, they've said I should do 5 presentations every day. I am impatient about doing no, I got to do my 5 every single day. I am sure 1 will sign up. I am sure 2 will sign up. I am sure 3 will sign up. When this compounds over time, I am sure it will compound. So stop expecting too much from the little you do. Stop doing that. Because so many of us have focused on, hey, they will follow up one person, follow up one person, follow up one person till the person dies. They're still following up the spirit of the person. They continue following the person's spirit. The spirit will even go to heaven. They are still following the person up. I'm like, you want to die and follow what is your problem? What is your problem? There are so many fishes in the ocean. Why not cast your net again? Why not get a bigger net? Why not throw your net multiple times into the ocean? Why not do that? So stop expecting too much from the little you do. This is a bread that so many of us are chasing that is making us to leave the field. Another bread that so many of us chase that stop us from achieving our result is this: working the business with little or no knowledge of the business. working the business with little or no skill in the business. Some people say ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. And I will ask you, why should you have no knowledge and be on fire, blowing dust up and down? No. Begin to learn the skills. Begin to learn the skills. Don't wait till you perfect the skills before you start acting. You learn something new today, practice it today. At the end of today, add one more knowledge. Practice what you learned yesterday and what you learned today. Continue doing it. It will keep compounding. One day you wake up and when you're speaking, people will be like, who is this guy? Where is this person from? People that rejected other people to do the business, they sit in your office, they are restless because you are giving them value they cannot hold back on anymore. Increase your knowledge. Some of us have become active partners for the past 2 weeks. Have you started your SMO activities? Have you begun the trainings in the SMO? Are you going through those trainings to understand them, know them, and use them? The proof that you know something is in you doing them. If you don't know it, if you're not doing it, you don't know it. If someone says I'm a surgeon and this person cannot perform a surgery, the person is no surgeon. The person is a quack. Surgeons perform surgeries. They know how to do it. Even when they retire, they still know how to do it. They just need to refresh their memory and they are back to the theater. So improve your knowledge. Lack of knowledge have cost a lot of people. I don't know how to do it. To prospect, they become less confident of themselves because of lack of knowledge. They can't take action. They can't do it because they have done it before with no knowledge. They refuse to improve on themselves. They feel that what they knew when they started the business is enough to help them. Now they have 2, 3, 4, 5 downlines. No, you need to improve yourself. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. The moment you stop growing, you get rotten. You need to keep growing and remain green. Improve on your knowledge. How many minutes a day do you spend on personal development? How many minutes? I'm not asking hours. Take out 15 undivided attention in a day. 15 minutes, just 15. Whatever pages of a book you can read in this business for 15 minutes, undivided attention. My brother, start from there. Start from there. Do it consistently for the next 1 week, for the next 1 month. You will see the kind of value that will be coming out of you. Lack of knowledge. So many of us are now paralyzed because we don't know how to do it. How will you know how to do it if you don't seek the knowledge? So my advice to you is this: go back to the field. Pick up that thing. If prospecting is your challenge, there are many trainings on the SMO that will guide you on it. The leaders here have put SMO activities within the week. Make sure at that point where you are in any week that you participate, learn, and grow. And with all these things being said, when you decide to leave the field, just the same way I'm helping you to realize that you have been on this side and you have given into chasing the birds, I am trying to also help you to bring you back to the field. I want you to listen to what happened when the coach of Peko put him down at the end of the race and said, let's talk about what is going to happen next. Let's talk about what we are going to do next. Let's review what you have done, which is what we are reviewing right now. Let's look at what happened there in the track. Listen to what the coach told him. And immediately after the coach told him that, you will see what happens at the end. Stay with me.
Però sì, perché ha lavorato bene, punto. Siamo velocissimi, bravo. Adesso dobbiamo concentrarci su quello che dobbiamo fare, punto.
Perché se poi l'hanno fatto apposta a quello che volevano, che fosse questa condizione, quindi
loro che se ne frega che io sono nervoso, loro vogliono che io sia più fuori dall'atto 2.
ma anche nervoso aiuta, anche nervoso aiuta, credo.
A me non cambia assolutamente niente.
It's a plan, it's go! Great start from proposition, electric start from Jorge Martin. trying to find at the inside of his teammate Franco Moore. They come into the first gear, turn number 9. Hard on the brakes, the Persians go sideways. And Bastianini, a little bit like he did the last lap in Mazzano, almost careers into the back of Pecco Bagnaia. He will say, I'm sure.
Confermo che non si fa niente, non si fa niente. Quando anche i ragazzi lì non si fa niente.
Bagnaia just has turn 15 to go for a hugely significant victory.
Pecco Bagnaia then is on course for victory here in the Malaysian Grand Prix, but the World Championship will roll on into Valencia. Fabio Quartararo keeps his famed title hopes alive with an outstanding ride to.
Did we notice what happened? What did the coach tell him? The coach said, we saw what happened, but we need to focus on what we can control. He said, we saw what happened, but we need to focus on what we can control. He said, if they notice that you're nervous, that you're flustered by it, what happens? They will use it on you. Let me tell you this. The only thing you can do, listen to this, you can't control all the thoughts that happen in your mind. No. While I am speaking to you, some of you have traveled to the village and came back in this cell meeting. While I am speaking to you, some of you have gone to the village. Some of you have gone to the market already. Some people are already celebrating Easter. Some people, you can't control all the thoughts that are coming to your mind. But let me tell you what you can control. You can control your behavior to the thoughts that come to your mind. You can control your response to the thoughts that come to your mind. You can control your actions to the thoughts that come to your mind. No wonder the scripture said, what goes into a man is not what defiles him, it's what comes out of the man. It's what he does after what has come in that affects him. The things around us that we can't control are one. You can't control that person who you want to prospect with the hope that you're showing somebody something that will happen. And the person says, no, what you're showing me is nonsense. You can't control that person who tells you that he's coming, but fails to be someone who is credible and of high integrity, who tells you he's coming and that he's on his way and never shows up. Can you control that? No. You can increase your chances of having the person want to come. You can do that as your skills improve. But it's not in your control. It's not. Your results are not in your total control. What is in your total control is in your behavior on the activities. Your behavior on the activities you can control. Can control the number of people that will see my business. If one person says no, I'll find my average so that I will have 10 people to show up. You can control that. And let me tell you this, while you see successful people, what they have done is this, they have been able to figure out what their averages are, and they put in enough of those averages to give them their results they anticipate. It appears as if they have total control of their results, but what they have total control of is their actions. They have total control of it. I don't know if some of us have watched these movies where you're like Air Force One, like White House Down. When you see presidents, when they perform, a president is coming out of a security meeting with all his security chiefs. The tension is high. Everywhere is like they're about to bomb the entire country and all that. The tension is so much. He's coming out of that meeting so tense. He's screaming at this chief, screaming at the naval officer, naval chief, screaming at the Air Force, screaming at all of them. As he's coming out of the meeting, he has another meeting to attend where he's going to speak to children with autism. You see this president, as he's coming out of that meeting, super tensed. As immediately he's going into the next meeting, you see he's smiling. Hey, baby, how are you doing? How are you? He's playing with them. How does he switch? Let me tell you the difference between leaders and followers. Leaders have mastered the art of controlling their actions. They've mastered the art. They've become experts at controlling their art. But followers, they dwell on their thoughts. But leaders now, they have mastered the art of controlling their thoughts. They've mastered the art. So you see them, he's coming out of this, as he's finishing with those children, 30 minutes, he's going into another meeting, he's going in as the president again. So makes them leaders. And we are leading in our industry. For us to achieve the results, we have to lead in our industry, and we have to come with that mindset of those who lead. Are we getting this? Are we beginning to get this? Because it is only by doing this, by focusing on what we can control. What are the things we can control? That is why we said in these 90 days, the iEmerge project, which is a season of total outburst, we cannot do it anyhow. We can control our actions in these 90 days, not forever. But Peko Banya was not running the race all day. No, he had to run it within a period of time. So he had to focus on what he can control. The person he was even racing after that made him to crash initially ended up in 3rd position. Why did he now win and now end up in 1st position? He stopped focusing on him. If he was still focusing on him, he might have ended in 4th position. Then he focused on the championship, and what happened? He became the champion. Are you focusing on the project? Are you focusing on the end result? Are you focusing on the temporal defeat? Are you focusing on your fear, or are you focusing on becoming a kingsman who will attract and kings to your business? Are you focusing on raising a domino effect in your team so that as you create this result, other people in your team will create the same result? Are you focusing on setting the pace at the end so that your people can follow because they have watched you and their people have watched them do it and they are creating massive results? Are you focusing on becoming a kingsman? Or are you focusing on that singular person who you showed the business, who has refused to sign up, or that one person that has signed up, and you're now wanting the person to become the top one in the business? Is that what your focus is? Ladies and gentlemen, you can make a choice today to go back to the field. You can make a choice today that you see this kingsman thing. I become a kingsman this month, period. This month of March is my month of becoming kingsman. I'm going to recruit so many people in this challenge that I'm going to choose 5 people and help them to become active partners this month. That's my goal. And I am going to find these people. I'm going to go through the numbers. I am going to ignore the debts. I'm going to ignore my fears. I'm going to stop expecting too much from doing too little, but I'm going to do too much and expect some results from it. I'm going to put in a lot of effort. I'm going to improve my skills so that I can have this result. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your time to rise to the top. This is your time to tell yourself, what is it about generating 36 codes? Why can't I, what's the big deal about it? Am I making it too big? Because I'm not making something that is not too big to look too big, simply by how I'm saying it. Can I decide to see it differently and make this month of March my month of beginning of excellence in my business? What will it be for you? All you have to do is get into the activities. Tell yourself, this month of March, I'm going to make it happen. This month of March, I am taking myself back to the field. This month of March, I'm going to say, I'm not going to allow these fears. I'm not going to allow my lack of skills to stop me. Rather, today I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to be in the field. Tomorrow, I'm going to learn while I'm in the field. Next tomorrow, I'm going to learn and go back to the field. I'm going to keep doing it, repeating, reviewing, and getting better each single day, because it's only by doing that that I achieve my results in the business. Great achievers, I have a question for you. Will you go to the field or will you chase the birds? Will you go to the field or will you chase the birds? Will you go to the field or will you chase the birds? Will you go to the field or will you chase the birds? Will you go to the field or will you chase the birds? I have an assignment for every one of you here who is ready to go to the field. At the end of this cell meeting, I want you to take a piece of paper, a plain sheet of paper, and write those birds in the past January and February that you have been chasing based on what I shared with you that made you to leave the field. And if you have made up your mind to go back to the field, when you have listed those things out, those birds that you were chasing, I want you to write in bold letter, I am back to the field. I am back to the field. And I need you under that to write 3 things that you will start doing from today in the I Emerge project. Did you get the assignment? The assignment is this. List out the birds that you have been chasing instead of sowing in the field. That's number 1. List out the things. You know them based on what I shared with you this morning. Now, if you have made up your mind to go to the field, to go back to the field and tell yourself, no, this is where I belong. This is the only place I have a chance. Let me tell you this. If you leave the field, you have lost every chance of ever succeeding. Do you know that? If you leave the field, you have lost every single chance of ever succeeding. It is only when you are in the field, let me ask you, some of us remember that video about the pastor who said, the reason why these birds showed up in the first place is because you are sowing. Oh, goodness. Oh, thank God. The reason why the birds showed up in the first place was because you were even sowing. If there were no seeds on the road, will the birds show up? There's no seed now. Why would they show up? They won't be there. The reason you were rejected, the reason you started being afraid, the reason you got all those rejections were because you were doing the activities. Now you start chasing those things. You stop doing the activity and you lose every chance of ever winning. You lose every single chance of ever winning. You lost it. You lost it. So for you who have made up your mind, going back to the field, it's the only place I have a chance to win. I have a chance to win when I have lost. The only chance I have to win is if I am in the field of play. I am attacked because I am with the ball. The only reason people are attacking me, if you see somebody who is staying at the back and he doesn't have the ball, nobody attacks him. The reason that someone is attacked, the reason that the footballer is attacked, the reason they bring down Messi, they tackle down Ronaldo, is because he's with the ball. It's the person with the ball that is attacked. The person that does not have the ball is not attacked. How many people attack the goalkeeper? They only attack the goalkeeper when he's with the ball. If his players are playing in the field, nobody attacks him. Nobody remembers the goalkeeper. Nobody. Is the person with the ball that is attacked. Is all these things, all these birds are after your success because you are with the ball, because you are with the seats, because you are in the field. Don't leave the field. Am I speaking to somebody? Do not leave the field. So today, all you have to do is this. If you have made up your mind, I'm going back to the field, list out those birds. Why do you have to list it out? Write them out. As you're writing them out, you are expunging them from your mind. Write them out. Write them out. Write them out because you are telling that thing, I'm going to show it to the entire world. That you things are the things that write it out on a sheet of paper. Tell yourself, I am going back, write it in bold, and below that, write out 3 things that you're going to start doing today in the I Emerge project. And when you're done doing this, sign your signature on it, put so help me God. After the 3 things, so help me God. Write your name, write your reservation code, snap it and send it into our group chat. That's your assignment. Will you do the assignment? Will you do the assignment? Will you do the assignment? This is my message for each and every one of you today. I've spent more time than we usually do, but Nancy, they do me this morning. This is the only time that I have to meet with all of you together on a Monday. The next time we will meet will be next week, Monday. I can't wait till next week, Monday, to tell you this as it gave my mind. No. But I want you by next week, Monday, when we come here, you will say, yes, I went back to the field. I started doing that, and this is what I have achieved from it. When you meet a fellow great achiever, tell the person, ask the person, are you back to the field? Let that be your greeting anthem. When you meet any great achiever anywhere, just ask the person, are you back to the field? Because I am back to the field. Let that be your greeting. Hey, dude, how far now? Are you back to the field? That depends, because me, I am back to the field. Do you know what that does for you? Even when you are not back to the field, and you tell the person, I am back to the field, your mind will be like, you don't lie, Abby, or you go back to the field, so that you justify the truth you have said. I wish us the best. My wish for each and every one of you is that you grow, become successful, and help other people to achieve success. This is my message for each and every one of you. We spent a lot of time this morning, and then I'll give maybe one or two leaders an opportunity to say a word or two, and then we wrap it up for today, okay? For my sister Matthew, what do you have for us? Matthew, what do you have for us?
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. All right, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you so much for the amazing mentorship this morning. I learned a lot this morning. I know many of us learned, and one of the things I actually totally agree with you. For many of us have passed through a lot of issues in our business about the alternative. Many of us, even both the full-time and part-time leaders, once you have an issue, an alternative comes in, even though you were working at 100%, it come back to 0%, and we have to work on that very, very serious. And secondly, the part of the fear. Great Achiever, I want to let us know that the fear is it says a false evidence appearing real. And just like what Gam said earlier, that an object will never react to anything until an external force apply. And I studied from one of my mentors, said that all progress remain at a state of rest until a mental force is applied. And all of us here want that progress. And if you not apply that mental force, nothing going to change. So Gam, this morning, thank you so much. I think I've learned a lot, and I believe all of us, we are going to get back to the field. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. Talk about what do you have for great achievers?
Good morning, Gam. Good morning, great achievers. Thank you so much for this privilege, sir. This morning, I've learned really so much, especially when you spoke about so much. I know this is a major problem of most of us. We're doing so little and we're expecting so much. We're prospecting just one person and we're expecting to make 1 million. We don't go out to run events. If we ask how many people did event this last weekend, we have little. A lot of people didn't do it. You are opening your DTC, you're expecting money to have showed there. We're playing, we're doing so little, expecting much. Some people are in this meeting, you keep opening your DTC, expecting that one way or the other, maybe magic would have happened. Maybe something would have, happened. You are praying. Maybe one of those things that goes to a church and then they ask you to raise your phone, miracle alert or miraculous alert. And then one of the alerts you're expecting is that your DTC will just add up. Money will just show up like that. You're playing. For you to expect so much, you need to do so much. In fact, you need to do more than you're expecting in the business. That's one part I really want every one of us to work on today. Prospect more than the kind of money you want to make. Invite more than everybody. Outperform everybody in your team. And what your business will look like. Once again, thank you so much, Gam. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Donis, are you here? What do you have for us for great achievers?
Okay, good morning, Gam. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, great achievers.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Well, thank you very much for this wonderful mentorship this morning. It was really amazing. But two things that I just want to mention here.
It's like you're in a location with someone. It's echoing.
Okay, two things I want to mention here is one, the first one you talk about, not really the fear, but the second one, when you talk about the distraction, the current distraction happening in the country now, which is the electoral processes that is going on. Because a lot of us seems to be a lot distracted with it. We have stopped activities and our major focus is just who wins. Tinubu wins, or we supposed to be the winner. And that is what we are all clamoring on, leaving what we are supposed to do. Just like Gam said, whoever emerge as our president, there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is to control our own economy. And the way you can control your economy is by doing the activities in the business. Even in times of crisis, in times of recession, it's not, if you look at it carefully, you find out that it's not everybody that, when the country is in crisis, that it's not everybody that gets into crisis. There are people that are succeeding. People that succeed are people that define themselves, that separate themselves from the current happening in that particular time. But if you follow the crowd and said, okay, because the world, some of us are like hopeless now. It's like Nigeria is coming to an end, but Nigeria will not come to an end. It can never come to an end. During Corona period, we thought Nigeria will come to an end, but we are here still succeeding, still making money. People made a lot of money during Corona period. We are at home for over 6 months, but we didn't stop. The business didn't stop. We keep on making money that period. So no situation is capable of pulling you down. So that is one thing I got from this meeting today. The second thing is this. You talk about knowledge. And I think that is where a lot of us are holding ourselves back. We have little knowledge and we don't give our team members opportunity to also grow as we learn. If you take a census here today and ask every one of us that are here today, how many of our team members were able to, you drag to this summit in today, you find out that we either came alone or we came with 1 or 2 persons. The moment your downlines, your team members begin to know what you know, they begin to produce like you produce. The reason they are not producing like you're producing is because they don't know enough. The reason why they quit the business is because they have limited knowledge. If they have more knowledge, the reason why they don't even do the emerge that you are in now, we are doing Challenge 36, people are not doing it, some people are not doing it because you have not taken it down to them to make them understand why they should do Challenge 36, why they should emerge. But I tell you, if you make them to understand and give them that knowledge, give them the opportunity to also learn like you are learning, believe in me, you see in a little while, in a little time, your business is going to move to another level. So thank you very much, sir. So appreciate you this morning for this wonderful training and also for bringing it to our awareness. As I'm talking, I'm also talking to myself because there are a lot of things that I'm not doing. Where I am now, where we are now is not where we are supposed to be. We deserve more than this. That is why they call us the great achievers. We are supposed to be achieving greatly, not achieving small. Thank you very much and God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Our time is against us. Just one person will just speak more. Chikamso, very quickly, what do you have for great achievers? Very, very quickly. Want us to finish this. We'll spend close to 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Thank you for this call of telling us to get back to the field because some of us have actually left the field without even knowing it. So let all of us take the bold step and get back to the field. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I won't be able to take other more because it's already 9:28, 1 hour, almost 1 hour, 30 minutes. So you got value. You're going to do the assignment I gave. Get back and do the assignment. Do it. That's where it starts. Your healing process starts from there. Take a piece of paper immediately after this. Write those things down. Be sincere to yourself. See, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There is nothing you have faced in this business that nobody has faced. Trust me on that. There is nothing you have faced in this business that nobody has faced. And in our business here, please, all these people saying that miracle money works, please take it to the church. I beg you in the name of God, take it to the church. I'm not supposed to say this, but please you can never juxtapose the place of hard work. No, God worked for 6 good days. God is not stupid. We understand the place of favor, the place of this, but have you found out that people who won lottery almost lost the money? Have you asked yourself why? That money that was given to you, that was given you freely that you didn't work for, what did you use it to do? You go and buy phone. Somebody was telling me, somebody did a contract, they paid him, he went and bought the latest iPhone. I'm like, and then he's still taking Keke Napep or Kada. It's not madness, because he's not prepared for it. All these bumps we are going through in life, they are preparing us so that when that uncommon favor comes, we will not waste it. So please take the miracle money position to the church. We are here talking about we working hard and creating hard results, sustainable results. Please, let's not bring this idea of miracle money here. You prospect one person and you expect the person to go and sign up the world. It can happen, but make up your mind. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work smart, and don't bring the idea of miracle money into our business. It's not our business. It's not business. Let me make it clear. It is not business. God is a fair God. I will bless the works of your hands. You are not working and you want to be blessed. Why are we trying to make God look as if he doesn't know what he's doing? I need someone to help us post the affirmation, the discipline affirmation, and then we say closing prayers. Someone help us post the discipline affirmation, and then we say closing prayer. Thank you very much, Queen Oz. I need who pray for the Christian. I need a Muslim brother, a Muslim sister that would lead us with the affirmation and then closing prayers. Who will help us? I need a Muslim. Can wave your hand. Anyone? Maybe I'll call a Christian again. I can't see any Muslim here. Maybe like all of them don't go. Nalai, how? Okay, Ismail Shaba. Now, the person that would have won my 20K recharge card this morning was Halima Usman. She was the first person that logged in. First person. But even till now, I'm checking for her, she's not there. So she just lost that. She was the first person, Halu, and she's in 730 IM. Yeah.
Village
Halima
people.
Usman. And now it's no village people now, they've been activated for some people who allow them. Okay, Ismail Shaba, mute yourself, lead us with the affirmation and then closing prayers. Yes, go ahead, Ismail. Unmute yourself, Ismail. We can't hear you, Ismail. The network yank you out there. Okay, Abubakar Abdullahi, unmute yourself. Abubakar Abdullahi, unmute yourself.
Good morning, girl.
Good morning. Go ahead,
Can
Abubakar.
I say? Okay.
But lead us with the affirmation. Then after that, closing prayers, okay?
Okay, man. Okay, sir. Who I am?
Who am I? I am in control of my behavior.
I am in control of my behavior.
Who am I?
I get my goals finished no matter how I feel.
Who am I?
I am in charge of my own outcome.
Who am I?
I can do anything.
Who am I?
I've got the stamina to keep going no matter what.
Who am I?
My willpower exceeds any exhaustion I may face.
Inshallah.
Who am I?
When I set goals, I achieve them.
Who am I?
I believe in myself enough to follow through.
Who am I?
Nobody can hold me back, not
back.
even my own doubts.
Who am I?
Nobody can hold me back.
I owe it to myself to wake up and conquer.
Conquer.
Who am I?
I am full of motivation.
Who am I? Loudly.
With God on my side,
side,
I am unstoppable.
We are in prayer. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Praise be to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the world, the beneficent, the merciful, master of the day of judgment. To you alone we worship, to you alone we ask for help. Guide us onto the straight path, the path of those whom you have favored, not the path of those who in your anger, none of those who go astray. Amen.
Man, thank you very much. I wish everyone the best of today, this week. Go and make this happen, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful day. Thank you, great achievers. Bye, everyone.